How can you get women back into work when childcare equates to the cost of an average mortgage? That is the question. In increasing numbers, mothers are giving up their jobs and not going back, to the detriment of society as a whole. For the first time in decades, the number of women not returning to work after having a baby is on the rise. To find the reason why, we don't have to look much further than the spiralling cost of a full-time nursery place for a child under 2, which has risen from an average of £236 a week in 2018 to £274 in 2022. That's over £1,000 a month. If you're in London, that figure is probably a lot higher. Could you afford to take £1,000 out of you and your partner's salaries right now? Or worse, as is the case for single mums, out of just your own pay? A survey of 27,000 parents revealed that childcare costs have forced 43% of mothers to consider leaving their jobs and 40% to work fewer hours. As always, it's the most vulnerable mothers who are paying the highest price. The cost of living crisis means that 1 in 4 parents have had to cut down on necessary expenses such as food or heating to afford childcare. Choices no family should have to make. The colossal cracks in our childcare system exacerbate child poverty as well as devastating women's economic participation. We're here with Christel, who's a single mum of 3 boys, aged 15, 12 and 2 years. She worked as a receptionist in a hospital until the lockdown. She trained as a peer mentor and alcohol support worker, and she still does that on a volunteer basis. She's been living in the borough since 2016, but has never needed to use the food bank until September of this year. Welcome, Christel. Thank you for sharing your personal experience of the cost of living crisis for our listening project. What's your story?
Hello.
Hi, Christel. So, what changed in your finances since 2020 to 2022 that made you come to our food bank in September?
It's the cost of living that's gone up. Gas, electric is through the roof. So I needed to come to the food bank to help me add to what I can afford to buy, so my children and myself could have a healthy meal. So
are you on universal credit?
Yeah.
So, and in private housing or in social housing?
My house is through a housing association. Yeah.
So I'm assuming that means that your rent is deducted from your universal credit, and then you have to pay for your own council tax?
Council tax, gas, electric, water, food,
so
clothes.
And with a toddler, with a 2-year-old, you've got nappies and all the other things that babies need, like milk and things like that. So how much do you actually have to live on per month, would you say?
Well, after all the bills, I would say about, after I've paid all that, I would say about £100.
That's nowhere near enough to feed a teenager, 12-year-old, 2-year-old and yourself. So how has the food bank helped you?
It's helped me a lot. I've been able to explore different foods that I wouldn't normally buy. Like the other day I came and they gave me some mussels and I didn't know what they were, but I took them. Beggars can't be choosers. And then I went on YouTube and I found a recipe, so I made a garlic and white sauce linguine with the mussels.
Sounds lovely.
It really was, and the kids loved it. So
So you're exploring
different foods and more healthier choices as well, because they give a lot of fresh fruit and veggies. So we make vegetable lasagna. They love that.
Okay. Have they supported you emotionally as well?
They're really nice when you come there. They don't make you feel like you're like, I don't know, what can you say, like people treat you different, don't they? Let's just say that. So like stigma behind it. They offer you a cup of tea, which is lovely, biscuits. Yeah, it's welcoming. It is welcoming.
I'm glad. Yes. So, I mean, having 3 boys, it must be so difficult to entertain them. What do you do with the boys to keep them occupied or entertained?
We go to like a lot of parks and like festivals.
Is that within the Barking and Dagenham borough?
Yeah, and then we explore out. So, like, where did we go the other week? Where was it? I'm trying to think where it was. It was in Camden, and they had like a little festival down there. So we just packed a packed lunch, jumped on the train, and went there. It was amazing. The kids loved it. The music, Camden's like that anyway, isn't it? So yeah, we do things like that, and we go on the Barking and Dagenham site and look for free activities as well, because there is a lot, but it's just not advertised very well. You have to look for stuff, but yeah, you can find it if you want to. Like, you can find things to do to entertain them, because you have to, because they can't just stay at home. Because
they're active.
They're boys as well. Yeah. So then they start fighting. So you have to get them out.
Just depending on exactly how much you'd like to share, can you talk about some of the impossible decisions that you've had to make, maybe, or that you think you will have to make in the next few months with the cost of living crisis?
Well, we don't go bowling and cinema and stuff like that anymore, because we can't afford it. It is a toss-up between food, gas, electric, or you go out for the day. But we do go out, but it has to be free or part. Yeah, free. I wouldn't say free. It has to be free. What else have I thinking? Get cheaper food. So use like the home brand ones. Some of them are not nice, but you have to eat. So what else have I done? I used to smoke cigarettes, but now I smoke tobacco because I can't afford cigarettes. So yeah, not that, but that's like my little pleasure. Do you know what I mean? But I have made that sacrifice. I do want to give up smoking, but I don't really trust them vapes. I don't really trust them, but I've signed up to go to Barking Library. They've got a non-smoking centre there. So it's a 12-week course, so I've signed up for that. So I'm going to wait for them to call, because that £10 a week that I'm spending on tobacco, it could go on the house. That's what I'm thinking. Well, that is the truth, isn't it? So yeah.
Thank you. You will get the cost of living payment, I assume, being on universal credit. So what difference will that make to you?
It'll go on gas, electric, so we won't be cold. We'll have electric and food.
So it'll go, as soon as it comes in, it'll go straight out on the essentials.
Yeah.
And you won't have anything to treat the boys to.
Well, food-wise, yeah, but no. And Christmas is coming up as well, so yeah.
When did you first experience financial hardship?
When did I first experience it? I would say when my second son was born, it was tight. It's not as tight as it is now, but it was tight, because I'm on universal credit and I've got the 2 boys already, so the baby's the 3rd one. You don't get money for the third child, so you get child benefit, but everybody gets that. So I get £13 for the baby, and that's supposed to feed him, clothe him.
That's not even nappies for a week, is it?
If I did that, I'm sure the social services would be knocking on my door, do you know what I mean? But it's laws, rules, I don't know, whatever.
So, I mean, I'm sorry to have to ask this, but obviously this must affect your physical and mental health.
Yeah.
Can you tell?
I would say not physical, I don't think, because I'm quite healthy, but mental, yeah, because you feel guilty that you can't do things that your children want to do. You can't get them like the latest trainers, and you feel like a bit of a failure.
But you're not. It's just circumstances
Yeah.
that have, brought you to this situation. So how do you deal with your own emotional well-being and your mental health?
Well, on a Tuesday I do boxercise. There's a course I found through the Barking and Dagenham. It's 12-week free course. So I do boxercise on a Tuesday, and Wednesday yoga. I'm supposed to be there now. But yeah, yoga, I do that. So that helps me like calm, relax, and I'm into crystals and stuff like that anyway. So that's my little thing. And the kids give me loads of cuddles, so that helps.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
That's lovely, especially for boys.
Yeah.
Enjoy it while you can. Christel, if you could speak to councillors, MPs, policymakers, what would you want to tell them?
I would say come and live in my house for a week with 3 children, and see how you could cope financially and mentally with what I'm left with.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So there will be people out there listening to this who've never experienced financial hardship. What would you say to those listeners?
Don't judge people. Your situation could have changed just like that. And it's not a shameful thing to ask for help. Do you know what I mean? Some people need help.
Yeah.
And there is help out there, but you have to know where the help is.
I'm just going to pick up on something you just said about living in your shoes for a week, that it affects your mental health. How, if you don't mind, could you just expand on how it affects your mental health, the struggles that you're facing?
It makes you like depressed because you can't do things for your children, can't buy things that they want. You have to like budget for things that they need. You feel a bit low in yourself, like a bit of a failure, because this isn't the plan that you planned in your head like 5 years ago. Do you know what I mean? But like I said, like circumstances change. So
when you had your youngest child, who's 2 now, did you face any mental health challenges at that time? Because it must have been, because you'd stopped working, it was COVID, lockdown. Did you have any challenges at that time?
Not at that time, but previously I have with like mental health, depression. I suffer with depression, but I've done like CBT and stuff, so I've got tools that help me, so I know when I'm going down. So that's why I do my boxercise and my yoga as well. It just keeps me focused.
So the yoga and the boxercise, is this through free things that Barking and Dagenham offer?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're able to tap into that to help you. So the CBT, cognitive behaviour therapy, that you use, did you get help through GP or a counsellor?
Yeah, it was through a GP. It's a referral, but with these referrals, they can take from 6 months to a year. And I do feel that we should have like walk-in centres that you can go in and get the help at the time. It's important, I do think, because if you know that you need help, and you've gone out there looking for the help, you're ready for the help. Do you know what I mean? You shouldn't be on a list waiting
6 months for
or up to a year for an appointment, because by then you could be dead. Like it is plain and simple as that. Because mental health, it affects people differently and different ways, different times.
Exactly. And you would have come across that through your support work with alcohol abusers and drug abusers. And are you able to signpost them in the right direction?
Yeah.
Because of your own personal experience?
Yeah, definitely. And as well, because I do a lot of research, I find things that the organisation doesn't know. And this is why I say it's important for these things to be like advertised better. Because mental health, a lot of people have it and you would never know. Do you know what I mean? And some people can hide it well, but one day you will break. That's what happened to me. I hid it so well, you would never have known. And then one day it just all crumbled.
What happened when
it all crumbled?
Talk about it, yes.
I didn't go out anymore. I didn't speak to my family. I needed like talking therapies. I needed CBT. I needed so much, and I think it all crashed down on me because I was in a violent, like, domestic relationship. So I had to keep busy, not thinking about it. So then when I moved here, like, I'm safe and everything, and then it all hits you at once. So yeah.
You hit rock bottom at that point.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, but you got the support that you needed.
Yeah.
So who was that? Family members who initiated the support for you?
Yeah, certain family members, definitely. I went to my doctors. Yeah, and it kind of went from there. But even that, I was on waiting lists for so long. So if I didn't have my family, there's people that don't have anyone. Anything could have happened. Do you know what I mean?
How are you doing now?
I'm fine, yeah.
Good.
I'm amazing.
Excellent. You are an amazing woman. You are an amazing woman. For many people, making work pay in London is a struggle because of the high cost of childcare. So you obviously have childcare costs. How many hours of paid childcare per week?
It's 15 hours.
And is that during set times, or I mean, why can't you? Can you use those 15 hours to work in those 15 hours? Is my question.
Only if you can find a flexible job, and there's not many out there. And a lot of employers, once they hear that you've got kids as well, they won't employ you because you can't be reliable. Because if your child's sick, you have to stay at home. There isn't a place where you could take a sick child and go to work. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
Are the hours of childcare set? Do you have set hours of childcare?
Yeah.
So there is no flexible employer who will accommodate the set hours of childcare. Okay. So additional cost of childcare, do you know what that might be?
Yeah, that is a week. It's £274.
A week.
of
for
childcare for you to go and work full time.
Okay. And is there a job that you could do that would help be able to pay for childcare and give you money at the end of the day to live on?
If I won the lottery, yeah. No, to be honest, if I went to full-time work, I would be paying for, like, all my money would go nursery.
Towards childcare?
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So you're in a catch-22 situation. Yeah. But you'd ideally like to be able to work.
Yeah, I would love to work. I'm not somebody that can just sit at home. I know there are people that like it, and I'm not going to judge you. If that's what you like, that's what you like. But me, I like to be out. I like to be speaking to people.
That's why you do your volunteering.
Yeah, I like
the alcohol
to help
support
people
work.
if I can.
Yeah.
I think they need to be more understanding that you do want to go out there. You don't want to be labelled as a benefit mum that just wants to sit down and just get benefits off of everybody. You have skills, you went to college, you can do things, but once they hear you're a mum,
so you've actually got qualifications in customer service?
Yeah, level 2 customer service.
Okay.
I've done a lot. I'm a peer mentor. I've done photography in college, I've done media.
You were telling me earlier you've also been a model?
Yeah, I've done modelling. I've done modelling for about 9 years.
So there should be an employer out there who would love to have you, but they're just not flexible enough to marry your skills and your time that you can put into work and what they actually need.
Yeah.
So they need to be a bit more flexible.
And understand that single mums have it harder as well, because you're always judged. If you go to work, you're judged because you ain't spending time with your children. If you don't work, you're judged because you're punching off the state. So we actually can't win. Whatever way we kind of turn, we can't win. You just have to be positive in yourself and know that you're doing the right thing.
Well, Christel, it's been absolutely lovely talking to you today, and thank you so much for giving up your time to be here and share your story for the Listening Project. Thank you so much.
And thank you for having me.